Today we got a special guy, a staple in the Philadelphia culture of women basketball. Hired at Alton Reed in 2013, took over a 3-16 team. 2014 finished with an 18-5 record with a playoff win. 2019 public league runner-ups. You have 166 wins. Two-time public league coach of the year. Two-time public league champion. 2024 4A district champion, 2024 4A state semifinalists, 4 Division I players, 5 Division II players, 7 college graduates, 12 years of owning a girls basketball camp, 12 years of owning SPUYG LLC, none other than Coach Kevin Slaughter. What's going on, Kev?
Oh man, thank you. I appreciate it. Listen, man, you had me thinking like, damn, this guy got some good accolades.
Yeah.
Feeling good for a second.
Before we continue, let me bring in the star of the show, man. 2-time public league player of the year, 3-time first team all public, 2-time first team all city, runner up of the Mitchell and Ness all area player of the year, 2023 first team all EYBL. 2-time Nike EYBL 16U national champion with 2 different coaches, 2023 Wooten Camp top 20 performer, 2-time Phoenix Club award winner, 2023 All-City Classic MVP, AUDENRIED'S all-time leading scorer, male or female, 2023 4A first team All-State, 2024 4A first team All-State, and the 2024 4A State Player of the Year, Shayla Smith. What's going on, Shay? What's going on, kid? Not too long ago, you announced your commitment to Penn State. You were recruited by many of the top schools in all of America. Why the Nittany Lions?
I chose Penn State because they made me feel comfortable being myself, and it's close to home. It's not in Philly, but it's not too far. Like, if something happened, I could always come back.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. It just felt like home when I went there on that visit.
Yeah.
After the first visit that I went on, it was unofficial,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just when I was leaving, I already knew I wanted to commit.
Yeah, man, it's big time basketball. Like you said, it's a home away from home. Penn State is not too far from Philadelphia. You still in state where the whole family can still come up and see you play.
Yeah, and then the Big Ten, that's a great conference, probably one of the best conferences right now.
Absolutely.
Other than the SEC.
Man,
big time. Especially with UCLA, USC, and all them coming over.
Absolutely.
Definitely going to be some good competition.
It's big time basketball there. Kev, you coached Kayla her entire high school career. What was it like for you after she announced her decision?
Nah, man, me and my assistant coach would always tell her, you want to make the decision the same way you made the high school decision. You want to be in a situation where something fits you. So I was cool with it. Like, it came down for me, St. John's and Penn State. And both of those coaches told me that they were recruiting her because they needed somebody that could score. And it was like, she knew how to put the ball in the basket. Whatever shortcomings or whatever negative things people might have thought about her game, the one thing that everybody says is she's a bucket. She can score on anybody. There was even a coach, I'm not going to name the coach or name the school, that has said, I like her, but what does she do other than score? So the coach from Penn State said, well, that's what I want her for. I'm not bringing her for nothing else but to score. And coming in out of high school, we have a strong feeling that she's not going to be sitting. She's going to be playing as a freshman in college.
I agree, man. I haven't seen too many female basketball players on a high school level who can score the ball like Shayla. Shay, what made you choose Alton Reed, over schools like Newman Goretti, Imhotep Charter, West Catholic, etc.? What made you pick the South Philly school Alton Reed?
It's just relationship building. It's the same thing with college too. It's you want to go where you're wanted. You want to go where you feel like you just feel comfortable and just feel like home, and go where go where people believe in you. Going to a school that's already popping for basketball,
mm-hmm.
or a school that's already well known for basketball. it's different. Like when like somebody recruiting you, like to come there and just be you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like a lot of schools, a lot of kids chase the school name and not like
Yeah, like
the
they
fit.
chase the name and all that.
Yeah,
But
because
like I was like on the type time like I could make the name.
yeah, and speaking of you making a name, and not to put a slight to anybody else, R&R wasn't on the map until Shayla Smith start putting on the show, and I think
Correct.
a player like you, gonna bring a lot of kids and bring interest to a lot of kids going to R&R because before you, Shayla, like R&R was not like a basketball school, kind of sort of like, not to put no shade on nobody else, but like
Yeah,
you made the
we
show.
no we were
Right.
lo- we were local. We
Yeah,
were local. We were local. We didn't get national until we got her. That's the truth. You ain't throwing no shade. I
yeah,
tell all the kids that played for me before her, I say, listen, we had some real good players, but we never were able to beat the likes of a Carroll or play in the games with Wood, or we couldn't even play with them teams until we got Shayla. So nah, you're totally right.
yeah. Shayla, you won 2 out of 3 public league championships so far. What will it take for you to get the three-peat?
Um, just like same thing. Just keep hooping. I feel like the public league, like I'm not to be like I don't know how to say it, but like
Cocky but confident.
I'm not really not to be cocky, but like I'm not really worried about the public league. I need a state champion. So
I know that's right, man. Kev, you've seen a lot of players in your day, man. What does Shayla bring different to the game? Like, what type of player is she?
Well, I, I'm gonna be honest, man. I compare her to like a lot of guys, a lot of men. I don't really have that many females that I can compare her to. I mean, don't get me wrong. Of course, I think there were better players. Like Dawn Staley and her are totally different players. The girl Shannon Stewart, she was like a big that had a handle. She was a different player. But what Shayla has, and I talk about this a lot, she's one of the few females that really plays like a boy. Like she plays like a man. Like she doesn't do that little hit shot that you see a lot of girls shoot the little corner three and it's like a hitch
Yeah,
step with their feet and they shoot it. Like she plays like a man.
yeah,
And a lot of the stuff that she does is kind of like, wow, did she just do that? So, she, in my personal opinion, I think there's a lot of really good basketball players, especially some of the younger talent
yes,
that's around in the city. They got some real gats out here, but Shayla's one of the few kids that I've seen in the last, I'm gonna say, 10 years that kind of like has that thing where it's like she's consistently triple and double teamed,
yes,
consistently,
and still
and I, and
managed
I
to
don't
fill it
I
up.
don't I don't see I don't see that many players like that around where it's like you hear people say things like all they got is Shayla or Orton Reed don't have nobody but Shayla. Don't get me wrong, she is our leading scorer, but she's also a leader in that way where she lifts a lot of kids up. We had a little thing we went to Sidwell Friends the other day, and I'm looking at all the talent that they got, and I'm like, man, they gonna probably kill us. I was worried. But Shayla was like looking at our younger players, looking at our other kids, like, look, man, we going ahead and rumble. Y'all coming with me or not?
Mm-hmm.
And she like really lifted them kids up and they was hooping.
Mm.
Like I'm talking about against nationally ranked players that's like top 15, top 10 in their class. And we had kids that was like going at them.
Yeah,
And Shayla gets on our kids a lot with that. Like she come at them like, look, man, like y'all drawing, like is y'all, we gonna hoop or what?
yeah, because
So that's something that's really good.
I mean, I'm impressed by Shayla. Like you said, she's the highest level player in the public league, arguably, an area in that class. And to see her, like actually swing the ball to our teammates, having trust in those girls to hit shots is big, because a player of her caliber could like shoot it every time if need be. But she plays the right way, get our teammates going before she, she closed the show.
Right, right, right,
Shayla,
right.
Shayla, 1,842 points going into your senior year. That's a lot of buckets. Linda Page and Dobbins, 81, finished with 2,380. The great Dawn Stelly at Dobbins in 88 finished with 2,445. And Sharnetta Stewart from U City in 96 finished with 2,501. You have a chance to be the all-time leading scorer in Philadelphia history. How does that opportunity feel? Is there any added pressure to break that record, or talk to me?
Um, it's definitely a blessing to even like be able to be in the conversation with those great players. And like when I first scored 1,000, I wasn't even like worried about it. Like when I got in 10th grade, I didn't even know that I was close until like a few games before, and they was like, "Yo, you like 100 points away. You gonna get 1,000 in your sophomore year." I was just like, "Oh,"
Mm. Yeah,
and then I
that's
don't
not
know.
normal, man.
I don't really like think about it a lot. It just happened. Like I just be playing, honestly.
I mean, when I come to the gym, I already know like if Shayla Smith is on a ticket, I'm there, and you put on the show every time. I don't know if it's like, oh, you see the cameras, or it's like, because it's lights, cameras, action. I know like if I got my $5 to get a ticket, I'm going to Reed to see Shayla Smith for sure, for sure. Kev, you built a solid group of girls around Shayla. Many guys have you as the favorite to win the public league again. But those states, that's a different animal, man. That's a different beast in its own right. How can you capture a state title, and what will it take?
Well, for one, it's just going to take for everybody to stay locked in and stay focused. That's first off, because last year we ran through the first 3 rounds. Like the first 3 rounds, people couldn't understand it. They was like, wow, they bombing people. But then the game we lost, what happened was, don't get me wrong, I'm not making excuses because, Shayla was fasting. And anytime we had a night game, that was like the game was like at 6 or 5 and she couldn't break her fast at 7:30, she was kind of like weak, and they were her worst games. And then when we played the games in the afternoon, it was like, okay, she was getting 40 and 35, and she was, because, she had just woke up and she got to eat breakfast. But this year, like I told a lot of the younger kids and some of the kids that was there last year, we can't just depend on Shayla to get 40 or depend on Shayla to just take over. Like, we need y'all to, like, really lock in on defense. You know, like the kid Heaven Reese, she's a junior now. Like, we need more out of her. Both our guards, you know what I mean? We need more out of them. We just need more out of all our players to, to get it done.
Mm-hmm. Shayla, you won the 2022 and 2023 Nike EYBL 1600 National Championship with two different coaches. What was that like?
It was a great experience. Being able to like travel to play basketball is like a dream. Like, I don't know. It's a great feeling. And then to be winning too, be on one of the top teams, it was definitely a blessing.
Now, a lot of people, or many people say, even myself, the EYBL circuit have arguably the best players in America in high school. That's a tough circuit to play on. Who was the hardest person you had to guard on that circuit? Like, if you be like, yo, this kid is a bucket, like she was hard to guard. Who would you say?
Um, I don't know. I can't give you a name. I don't know.
Kev.
I don't have no problem guarding anybody.
Kev, now I got a question for you. A lot of people want to know, including myself. How is a player as talented as Shayla Smith not on the ESPN Top 100 list? Like, am I missing something?
Nah. I mean, it's a shame. I actually was I was on a text earlier with a guy that's one of the ranking type guys, and they never give me a straight answer. You know what I mean? It's always going to be, I didn't see her play enough, or it's always going to be, she wasn't here, she wasn't there. But again, it's one of those deals where I know it's politics. I'm not going to speak on anybody's religion. I'm not going to speak on color of skin. I'm not going to do that because there's a lot of black kids that's ranked. But I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that she goes to a non-known school that's not really in the national, like, not on the national scene. Some of it just has to do with the fact that her religious beliefs and certain things that she did, during her time in high school. And I'll just say there were certain entities and certain people that were around her that didn't pump her the right way. Like, I only can do so much. If anybody who knows me, I've had different guys give me compliments over the years, and they would say, one thing I love about you, man, you pump all your players. I don't want to curse on this feed, but I had somebody one time say to me, and this is a well-respected person around the city who knows a lot about male and female basketball. And he said to me when I really first started like turning the corner a little bit, this was around 2019, 20, 21-ish. He said, man, you know what I love about you, man? You F with everybody. He said, you don't just look out for your star player. You get everybody in college. Like, you'll look at a kid and say, well, damn, she ain't a D1 player, but I can get her in an NAIA. Well, damn, this kid, she's mid-major D1, but I think she could be better if she went to like a low D1. Or a kid that's a low D1, I'll send them to like North Carolina, Fayetteville, or Lincoln, or Winston-Salem State. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's CIAA, and you know what I mean? Yep. It's like, I don't just say I'm going to just get Shayla in school. You know what I mean? I try to get everybody in school all the way to the lowest program, like at Cheney University. I just got a kid a full ride at Cheney University. But, you know, as far as that's concerned, I think it's one of those deals where the people kind of look at us as like they're a one-trick pony. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, they really not that good. They just got lucky. You know, they got lucky with a kid like Shayla. You know what I mean? He's not that good. I mean, I just heard somebody just told me that somebody was criticizing me the other day and said, all I do is press. I don't really know how to coach. All I do is press. But I ain't going to lie. That's gonna make me press more. To tell you the truth. But everything I do, man, I do it because somebody did it for me. Like, you know what I mean? Not trying to name drop and nothing like that. But anybody who know me know I played AAU basketball for Joe Jellybean Bryant. Kobe Bryant's father was my AAU coach. And the great T. Shields and Claude Gross. Anybody know anything about the 80s and the 70s and the 90s, the Sunny Hill League, they're legends. Like, you know what I mean? And guys like Mo Howard and Pappy Owens, like all that stuff those guys taught me, I give it to my kids. I run the same plays. I do everything that I was taught in the late 80s, early 90s, and the shit still works. It still works. If you do it right, it still works.
They say history repeats itself.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But again, I just think Shayla's going to get her just due, I think, at the next level. I mean, of course, I told her one day, because in the past we've had situations where people have asked her to transfer and told her, you know, you might be better over here. You might be better over here at this private school or this situation. And I told her, with all due respect, 20 years from now, nobody's going to remember what your rank was in 2025. They're not. They're not going to remember.
Correct.
But 50 years from now, my great-granddaughter may be playing basketball, and they say to her, oh, yeah, who's the all-time leading scorer in Philly history? They say Shayla Smith. Like, you're going into immortality. Like that's where you're going at. You're going to like the Mount Rushmore of the Wilt Chamberlains, the Maurice Rices, the, you know what I mean, Kareem Rab Towns, Pooh Richardson. You know what I'm saying? What's the girl's name? Yolanda Laney. You know what I mean? She's the only person, I think, from Philly who was on on what they call it, the USA Olympic gold medal team, like right out of high school. Like, that's major, like stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Miss Jones from U City winning over 20 championships and stuff like that. Like, you'll be in that realm. Like, that's where you'll be. And that no disrespect to everybody who got ranked or whatever's going on that year. But I think everybody, me and my assistant coach talks about this a lot, that a lot of people like to jump in the microwave. Everybody wants everything to happen right overnight. They want to just, you know, I'm going to go to this school with all these great players, or I'm going to go here and I'm going to try to get offers and I'm going to try to do this. And that's cool. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of parents that say things to me like, oh, yeah, well, I'm sending my kid to this school because, you know, about education. And I'm all for education. But I haven't been on one job interview yet to ask me what high school I went to. Not once.
Right.
I've never been on one. Like every kid that has a really good job, they got the job because of whatever the degree they got.
Absolutely.
You know, whether it's at Cheney or whether it's at St. Joe's or Temple or wherever you go. Nobody's going to say, hey, you know what? This kid right here is a good worker, but I'm not going to give them the job because they went to Strawberry Mansion. I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to give this kid a job in the NBA because, you know, he went to Southern, South Philly High, West Philly High. I'm going to give it to the kid that went to Central or went to girls. It don't work like that. It just doesn't. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people who are afraid to do what Shayla did. And I owe her for that. Like, you know what I mean? It's nothing I wouldn't do for the kid because she took a chance when the biggest thing that her parents always said to me was there wasn't people kicking her door down. Cheltenham and I think Tepton, Cheltenham, and us were the top people coming in for her. And then that summer when she played with me and people got to see her, because I'm a post and pumper. A lot of people was telling me, "Oh man, you should hide her. You shouldn't let people see her." I'm like, no, I don't do that. Like if she want to leave and that's what she want to do, all right, so be it. But I ain't doing no hiding.
Right.
And there were a lot of other people that came around later and wanted to recruit her, but the one thing that she did was she took a chance and she just said, you know what, I'm going to turn Orton Reed into something. You know what I mean, I'm gonna be a leader.
Shayla, you're a proud Muslim. To my knowledge, there has never been a Muslim player to play in the WNBA. Do you plan on breaking that barrier?
Yeah, that's definitely the goal for sure.
And my last question for you: do you receive a lot of support from other Muslim athletes around the world? Like, have some of them reached
Oh
out
yeah,
for
for
you?
sure. Yeah, like people be sending me like gear stuff on Instagram, like just comment and all that. It's a great feeling.
That's amazing. Well, Shayla Smith and Coach Lawler, I appreciate y'all taking time out y'all night to be on air with Rare, man. I'm truly grateful. And before I let y'all go, I need y'all to shout out Rare for the Sports for me one time.
Oh man, shout out Rare for the Sports.
Shout out Rare for the Sports.
Appreciate y'all for tapping in. I'll talk to y'all soon.
All right,
All
thanks,
right,
bro.
thank you.
Talk to y'all.